Hello Tenno, my name is Hunter and I am an MR24 player who had a question. I was running a few high-level missions with some friends and asked a Tenno who was new to Steelpath if they were aware of who they were playing and what they had built around. To which they said, I put a little bit of everything on him with armor and some health and that's about it. I then asked them if they had a friend who brought them into the game or if they had came in on their own. I learned that they didn't know that Steelpath took preparation or how to mod despite the teacher quest. The baby Tenno was playing in Aros and they didn't understand anything for Steelpath except everything got harder. So I'm starting over from scratch. Absolutely zero resources, zero money, and zero people in my Kim messages. There are going to be a few rules. I'm going to have only 3 of them. First off, no money. It's hard out here and this economy is tough. So that's not exactly a big problem. Rule number 2, we're not going to use any primes. Prime mods, no frames, no weapons, none. If I want it, it's got to be the base version for the simple reason that if I can build it on a prime, the base will do just fine. 3. This isn't a challenge playthrough. We're taking it at a nice pace, we're not rushing to Steelpath, and again, the focus is the new player experience, not the over-prepped and overbuilt veterans. Now, after your phenomenal cutscene, your first choice is to pick a starter frame. Your initial choice isn't a make or break for your whole experience. First up, it's your poster boy, Excalibur. His first ability is Slash and Dash. He dashes around and cuts enemies within a certain area of effect. His second ability blinds enemies and an AoE centered on him as well. His third ability launches javelins at the enemy, and his fourth is his Exalted Blade. It is essentially an energy blade that when swung can emit energy waves. Next up is Mag. Her first ability pulls in enemies to the ground in front of her. Her second ability has 2 versions. Holding ability creates a magnetic field she holds to catch bullets flying at her and releases it in a cone in front of her. The tap function puts the field on an enemy that centers on that unit. Bullets that enter the coverage to the center of the field, and it also groups enemies that enter the bubble. Notably, the enemy grouping no longer works if the enemy's body that it was casted on despawns. The third ability releases a pulse center on Mag that strips armor and shield and restores shield and armor to you and your allies. Ability barely mentions are the shards that this ability creates that can be interacted with by her 1 and 2. And if you want some damage reduction, you'll walk over them and carry them with you, but be aware that they don't last forever. Her fourth ability is Crush. You fold enemies in on themselves like origami. And her passive is an automatically picking up resources and orbs from 8 meters away. The frame that I'll be taking is Volt. His 1 is a basic Thundershock. His second ability is a speed boost, but it only speeds up our feet when they're on the ground. It also gives us more reload and attack melee speed. His third ability is an electric shield that blocks bullets and also provides a base damage and crit damage buff to our abilities and gunfire that passes through the shield. You can even pick it up, but when you do it shrinks and it follows your cursor. His 4 is a pulse that deals electric damage and paralyzes nearby enemies. His passive is building up charge as he moves, 10 points for every 1 meter up to 1,000 bonus damage, and it is used on the next attack swing or bullet fired. So with that out of the way, we meet Thor. He discovers our decrepit temple and is wanting to offer our body up to the Grineer Queens. As a side note, the Grineer is one of a few factions that we fight as Tenno. Now as a failsafe, he puts in a scarce on your ankle. Don't worry, it's not going to stay there. The Lotus overloads our Volt and lets us freely cast our abilities until we clear all the enemies. As a side note, if you're on your keyboard, all of your abilities will follow 1, 2, 3, and 4 above the QWERTY area. On console, you'll press and hold RB or R1 and tap A or X for the first ability, X or square for the second ability, B circle for the third, and Y triangle for the fourth. From here, you'll choose weapons. Don't worry, you'll have access to all of them, so don't think too hard on the choices. Eventually, after all your weapon choices, you escape using your old ship, ran by your Cephalon from the old war Ortis. First, we repair the arsenal segment that we stole from Vor on our way to get Ortis, gaining the ability to change weapons and frames while inside the orbiter. When we get new weapons and frames, this will be where we equip them, and after some dialogue from Ortis and Lotus, we'll be off on a spy mission to repair the ship's comms. After the comms segment is brought back to the orbiter, we finally gain access to the Codex. Important things to know about the Codex is that if you want to know something about Warframe that isn't on the wiki, it can be found here. After you install the segment, we're going to go bust out a guy from the Grineer Gulag. His name's Darvo, and after this quest, he's almost irrelevant. But you will see him in your daily logins though, so there's that. But after you break him out, you'll do 2 missions where you get the materials for the Ascarius Nullifier, and then the Foundry segment. Finally, no more bad angle jewelry. But now we gotta find Vor. You'll board a Grineer galleon to get his coordinates, but unfortunately the Ascarius had a failsafe. So now it's a race against the clock. This galleon is on its way to wipe out a convoy of colonists, and Lotus mentions that if we want, we can disable it and save the convoy. However, right after this, Vor also halves your shields for the mission, but you know, we chose to save the convoy anyway. With the Ascarius threatening our lives and Vor's location in hand, it's time to beat the brakes off him. After he runs away from these hands, we catch up and finally defeat him, severing his Ascarius from us, and we are free from imminent danger. But now that we're awake, what's next?